presented. Out of all places, frickin' IDOS Interactive. So take your time there. IDOS Interactive, the people who frickin' gave us like Tomb Raider and crap.
Honestly,
and
that
helped
whole
with the Arkham series.
Also, that whole intro sequence sounded like we were trying to watch this from the Black Lagoon.
Wait,
and also Crystal Dynamics.
Hey.
Yep.
Wait, aren't they the people that made Gex?
Yeah, and the recent Tomb Raiders.
And partnering up with Disney Interactive once again. I'm back.
Oh boy, are we gonna get our
first?
Are we gonna get our first epic 3D Mickey game?
No.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at her. Welcome everybody welcome to the This is Main Street USA. Welcome everybody to the magical world of the Disney theme parks, where people can go to see apparently 8-foot tall mongoloid bear thingies
Nerd!
and creepy ducks.
Oh dear.
And just to spend your troubles away, forget about the worries of the world, and trying to not see it as the big conglomerate corporation that's still running the whole thing from the inside out as it is. But I love the theme park still, and in particular, this one's based on the one situated in Florida. Welcome.
Welcome to Walt Disney World.
Thank you, Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, you.
Welcome to Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour. I don't know why the quest is there. It makes me feel like there's more to this than there is. But first, let's get some story.
What the heck?
Okay.
That's creepy.
Yeah, the realistic teeth shouldn't be there.
I'm gonna gnaw your souls.
It's Uncanny Valley. Okay, let's just get some 2D visuals. That's what Disney was doing right at the time of 2000.
They let their curiosity get the better.
Oh, Chip and Dale, what'd they do up today?
You see, through a small door in the side
and they're dressed in their Rescue Rangers outfits, no less.
Oh, so this is one of those elusive lost episodes.
Walt Disney World Magic.
So they found what they call the magic machine. In this lore, it's the thing that creates all the beautiful fireworks shows every night.
Oh, so this is what makes the electric shows.
And I guess Dale got a little clumsy and accidentally spilled his nuts, not those kinds, into the machine.
Ah, damn it, Dale.
The way you usually do, dirty mind.
But it was no use.
Come to think of it, where's Gadget and Monterey Jack?
And Zipper
Not sure.
and all the other characters.
They were busy trying to enjoy their vacation. But the machine did not like having little tiny tasty wrenches.
It did not like having nuts in its system.
And
so you're saying it doesn't
exploded.
So you're saying it doesn't like having nuts in its bolts?
Exactly.
That's
No
true.
nuts in its bolts.
So this is where the whole motivation comes from. I guess people have found, some omnipotent force found the pieces and is holding them as prizes in racings. So as Chip,
Hi Chip,
Amanda Sparkle, the rest of these are original characters. Do not steal.
Yeah,
this is totally not
that's the
Magic
sad
Have a
thing.
Spell.
That's the whole sad thing about this, and kind of one of the main reasons why I didn't even bother with this game in the first place. Chip and Dale are the only memorable characters in this game. Everyone else is, as Logan said, original to characters.
And Jiminy Cricket, as Hype was about to say, yeah, and also Jiminy Cricket. Think of him like the Tip Top of this game, as he was in, or not Tip Top. What was the clock's name from Diddy Kong Racing?
TT.
TT, yeah. Think of Jiminy Cricket like the TT.
What does LCC
that said,
stand for?
Time
TikTok, I don't know.
Or TikTok
time trial. Oh, that too. So, let us look at our first track that's unlocked to us in Adventure Mode, which I'm going to be showing off a little bit of Adventure Mode, nothing else. Big Thunder Mountain.
Actually, I said CC, not TT.
Oh, CC? Good question.
Like you said LCC.
Oh, LCC.
LCC? Those are my initials.
Oh. Now I just have to guess
there,
what your
that's
middle initial is, and then everything will be complete.
Well, you know what the middle initial is, but anyway, so let me talk about the controls of the game, because first of all, let me say, we're going to have plenty of time. One of the big faults that I would give this game is that sometimes the tracks are a little too long. Like, even at going at pretty good full speed, it could take me almost a minute per lap.
So, I guess I kind of want to get this out of the way. In terms of controls, how would you say this compares to, like, other kart racers of this type? Like, would you say it's a little bit similar to Mario Kart or CTR or maybe even Mickey Speedway USA?
I would say it's better than Mickey Speedway USA, but
Really?
I would say it's maybe a little slippier than CTR. But let me actually talk about what a pain this was to record first of all. So I had the PC version a long time ago. I never owned the PSX version. First of all, on the ROM, now I was able to get a ROM of the PC version because I couldn't find my original CD, and it did say like, hey, this is used to running on like Windows 2000 and earlier versions, but if you want to try running this on Windows 10, I'm like, sure, I want to try it. And for what it's worth, from what you're seeing, it actually ran pretty well on Windows 10, albeit a few problems. One is that there actually was no music playing like in the tracks. When it was in the menus, it was fine. But when I was actually in the tracks, it was silence except for the sound effects. So what you're listening to is actually from a very helpful person on YouTube whose name I forgot. I'm so sorry. He uploaded the soundtrack and I just kind of spliced it in.
Okay, neat.
That's good.
So as you're, I mean, like for
Now,
what you're listening, I think the
you
soundtrack's
finish.
pretty decent. I was saying, like, the soundtrack's pretty decent. Actually,
good.
it has a few,
I'm
yeah.
So those things on the side there, the spinning thing and the green thing, what do they do?
Oh, so the Mickey Mouse tokens are basically the coins from Mario, Mario Kart. The way, from what I gathered, once you reach 10, that's when you that's when you can like get a lot faster. Ow. You can get a lot faster.
Oh, so it's more like the
people have
Wumpa
noticed
fruit.
that 1 through 9. Yeah, people have noted that 1 through 9 doesn't really change a whole lot. But once you reach 10, then you're going at top speed. Which that's another thing I'll mention, by the way. If you look in the mini map, one thing that this game does not have is rubber banding for better or worse. So
Yeah, this looks like
those
an
poor
absolute
schmucks are going to
slaughter.
be back there for a while. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be.
and I can imagine like Chip just looking back, it's like, how's the weather down there?
As for the green sparkly thingies, that is actually linked to an optional challenge that are on these tracks. Is as you're racing them on each lap, these little sprite or fairy. Geez,
What the
someone
hell?
that. Think of it like think of this like the equivalent to the lightning bolt power up in Mario Kart. Everyone becomes frogs for.
Okay. I guess that
But-
makes some amount of sense.
So there are optional challenges, and one of them is if you can find all 8 of these little pixies on the track while you're riding around it, you get a little pixie thing on your icon. I don't know. Completionist people.
Now,
Do
is
you
it
get
kind of
anything
like
for
the...
finding all the pixies?
I was about to say,
I think
is
you
it like
I think you unlock a character.
Oh, okay.
Is it kind of like the letters in CTR where it's like you do have to go out of your way off the track to find them?
They're I don't think they've ever been hidden in shortcuts. They're pretty much like as long as you stay on the normal track, you should find them all. Now they do have an equivalent to the letters. They have trophies. Those are off on the beaten path.
Oh,
Like some of them, you may actually have to brake and like turn around and look behind an object, kind of thing.
That's...
Yeah, it's a little. Again, with these big tracks, a little different. So so first of all, this was clearly like trying to coin in on the success of Mario Kart 64, CTR,
You
and
don't
stuff
say.
like that.
Yeah, given the time
almost-
frame, not really anything surprising.
Has pretty much all the same controls. Driving, braking. They have a jump and drift boost. Whenever you're drifting, wait until it glows purple/pink. That's when you're gonna get a super boost. But be careful, otherwise you'll spin out. Rats! I missed
Ow.
it.
Well, to be fair, you're still pretty far ahead of the game. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nah, I decided not to chance it because if you don't get first place, you don't go forward.
Yeah, that's true.
As for the items,
The path to righteousness has no room for losers.
yeah. As for the items, these are of course the equivalent of shells I'm having around me right now. You already experienced the equivalent of lightning bolt power-ups. They have.
Does the game have a
yeah.
blue shell?
No, but they do have homing attack shells, which are kind of freaking OP. Like, especially since like you always get like 3 of them. I don't know. It can get pretty hectic. Careful. So yeah, I unfortunately got only 7 out of 8 Sprixie sprite thingies. Big
Oh,
Thunder
wow.
Mountain was no more though.
So
A really fun roller coaster ride at Disneyland, actually.
You mean World? Because this is Disney World.
Right, but they're both parks, and I live on West Coast. I can only go to the one at Disneyland more
Yeah.
often than not.
That's fair. I feel more at home here.
That's
Good
fair.
for you.
Well, that's
By
fine.
the way, how's the weather down there?
Nah,
Windy.
not bad, but could be better.
Okay. So let's see. So there is our first race, and now we've unlocked. Now the courses you can go in are highlighted in red. So we have Animal Kingdom Dinosaur next.
Oh my! Almost forgot that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the thing.
Yeah, they actually made a ride based on that really mediocre movie.
Yeah.
Must be short-lived because I don't remember seeing it when I went there a couple years ago.
You know,
Probably got replaced with something.
one thing I will give this game some credit is that it is kind of cool that you do switch vehicles whenever you go to a new track.
Oh yeah. Like these, in the last one we had trains modeled after the train that you ride on in Big Thunder Mountain. These are modeled after the time-traveling Jeep thingies that you ride in the actual ride itself.
That is interesting. I mean, unfortunately though, I think that's the only thing I can really give this game credit for, because I'm not going to beat around the bush. If I were to pick between this and Mickey Speedway USA, I think the answer is a no-brainer.
Alright, well I probably would pick this. Oh geez, someone fired all
someone's
three.
throwing their nuts at you.
Yeah, so that was some guy who just threw 3 of his homing attack things at me at once, and I couldn't do anything.
Satan.
Yeah, the AI, until you can put a lot of distance between you and them, the AI will fight pretty hard.
Can you even throw those nuts backwards?
Yes, you can.
Okay, then.
But I just want to hold on to this in case someone tries to throw something at me. Goodbye, Mr. T-Rex. I'm taking a shortcut. Whoo!
Now, something I'm curious about is that I know Mickey Speedway USA has this because, you know, it's kind of similar to Mario Kart in that regard, or CTR as well. But in this game, are there any, like, particular differences between each of the characters, or is it all just purely cosmetic?
Cosmetic.
Oh, well.
Giant dragon up above, not dragon, dinosaur up above us.
A Stegosaurus, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoop! Okay, we got out just in the nick of time. Anyway, the dinosaur ride at Disney World was okay. It's definitely a lot more intense than you would think it is. Like, it's very loud, very rough. It's like definitely not something you want to take little kids on, actually.
Oh, ironic.
Carnosaur.
Honestly,
Any hooser.
Honestly, when I went to Disney World, I think Magical Kingdom was the one kingdom that I remember the least going to. Like, I think the only thing that really stood out to me there was this Bugs Life 3D show that they had there, which actually was not too bad.
Oh, you mean Animal Kingdom? You said magical.
Oh, that's why I meant Animal Kingdom.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's tough to be a bug within the giant tree. That's always cool.
Yeah.
I think the two that stood out to me the most were Hollywood Studios and, oddly enough, Epcot.
Epcot has a lot of cool stuff in it. Epcot has a ride that at least like made me feel happy that they didn't completely forget about Three Caballeros. I loved that movie growing up.
And
anyway.
they had like a Mars simulator.
You know, speaking of the Three Caballeros, if they were going to include characters into this game outside of Chip and Dale, wouldn't it make sense to include them too?
I'm agreeing with you. I don't know what agreement IDOS had with Disney, but like if Disney already was giving them the rights to all of this, I don't see why they had to create different characters.
As far as I'm concerned, I think this game came out roughly around the same time as Mickey Speedway USA, so maybe it was because they did it that way just so they could differentiate the two. But even in that case, I would just say, oh dear. But anyway, if that's the case, why not just use some of the other obscure Disney characters? Like again, Jose and I forgot the name of the red. The
red one, yeah, I forget too. So I always forget.
I'm sorry. Jose was always the more memorable one, even though I did like the spunk from the red one, but aside from
I feel like the red one's name was like Pistol Gonzalez. I feel like Gonzalez was somewhere.
Something like that. But aside from those, like the Three Cavaliers, in other words, Scrooge McDuck. I mean, if they're already using Chip and Dale, why not go the full 9 yards with the Disney Afternoon crew?
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, with
Launchpad. And heck, another excuse to use Darkwing Duck.
Another good idea, yeah. So, until then, alright, so back to the game itself. So, we're trying to record this thing was a pain because, there was no music. I had to put all the music in artificially in post later.
Oh, I know them feels. I still remember way back when I had my first ever copy of Sonic R for the PC, like, no music whatsoever. I felt kind of cheated.
Ribbit.
Dang. Okay. Now, as for the controls themselves, I have to look at the PC here. Unfortunately, crap. All right, let's go this way. Unfortunately, the ROM did not include control instructions, and I couldn't find them online, so I had to experiment. These are the controls that I was able to figure out for driving, which, for what it's worth, they aren't horrible, but...
Let me guess, you just use the arrow keys to move yourself?
Well, okay. Arrow keys left and right are to steer. Back is to go in reverse. To accelerate, you hit number 3 on the numpad.
Okay, that's weird. Usually racing games on the PC lets you use the up key to accelerate.
Right, then the zero button, then the zero key on the numpad, which is below 3, would be what you use to jump. I think 9 is what you use to look behind you, and 1 is what you use to, like, fire things.
That sounds like a hell of a finger twister.
It can be, but anyway, so that is it for the dinosaur ride. Now let's go to Blizzard Beach. Now, did you go to any of the water parks while you were there, Hype?
Nope. Honestly, when it came to my trip to Disney World, and I know some people might find this to be pathetic, I pretty much went to every major region except for Magic Kingdom.
That's fine.
The most magical of them all.
Oh yeah, and by the way,
it's like the only reason that we did that was
also,
because... I was about to say, the only reason we had to skip Magical Kingdom is because we were only in Florida for a few days and we wanted to have enough time to also go to Universal.
Wait, is it just me, or do we just get a brief glimpse of Gizmo Duck on the racer roster?
Oh, that is not Gizmo Duck.
I know, I'm teasing, but I swear, with the visor on, it looked like, it kind of reminded me of Gizmo Duck.
Yeah.
It did.
And you know what? Visually, it kind of reminded me of those Robo-Ducks that you see in the moon level of the DuckTales game.
Oh yeah. Ouch.
Oh yeah, the RoboCop ducks.
So, what was I gonna say? So, by the way, another thing you notice is that, again, very much akin to Mario Kart, if you hold the acceleration button after a certain point, you get a boost at the starting line.
That's par for the course.
Right.
Oh, by the way, those big blue circle things I've been driving through, there are usually 3 of them in a row. If you run through all 3 of them, you unlock a shortcut.
Ah, interesting.
Ah.
So, for instance, like the shortcut I took... Oh, dear.
Oh, jeez.
So, for instance, that shortcut I took up the slide, that was cool and all, but it does make me miss one of the 3 blue things, so I then have to sacrifice activating that shortcut later. However, I need this to get in first, because again, no rubber banding. If I don't get into first and stay it there, it's going to be hard to get back in first after the second lap.
So I guess in a way you could say that the CPU is a little unbalanced.
At times, it's dated. Anyway, I'll almost have 10 coins, then we'll really be booking. And let me see what else.
Actually, if you get the max amount of coins, do you usually does your like items and your overall speed increase?
The items, I don't think they get better, but your speed definitely does increase. Like now,
okay,
like,
so they are borrowing cues from Mario Kart.
Yeah, and CTR. It was a whole trend. It's like I can't really blame it because like it was the exact same thing that was happening with Banjo-Kazooie and to an extent Gex the 3D one. Like it's a trend. They're following it.
Yeah, some better than others.
Right. So let's see what else. Okay, let's go this way so I can find the shortcut. So, nice one. Blizzard Beach and Walt Disney World is actually really cool if you've never been there. Basically, they wanted to create a water park that was actually themed after a ski resort, so everything's like snow and ice themed, even though it is totally still like a summer pool like resort.
Just so long as so long as it's not cold as fuck down there, I think that's not too bad.
And shortcut. And yeah, I was
actually,
worried that it was going to be cold water.
If it's supposed to be a summer resort, wouldn't it be a good idea to be cold to, break the heat?
True.
But then there'd be no reason for you to go into the swimming pool if you're already feeling fairly chilled.
Unless it's an indoor pool.
No, good point.
So, in terms of the other tracks, there's only like 1 or 2 from Animal Kingdom, actually. I think there's only 1. They only have the dinosaur ride, but Epcot, they have Test Track, which we'll be going to later. Test Track's a fun ride. They have Space Mountain. They have the Rock and Roller Coaster from Hollywood Studios. They have Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. They have Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion. They have a number of tracks from Disneyland. But with that said, we're almost done with quote unquote Chapter 1. So I'm going to show you the final area of quote unquote Chapter 1, which is going around Test Track and trying to get 30 coins before time runs out.
Okay.
However,
so since this game has between... Oh, you go first.
Big issue with the PC and PSX version, which are the only versions. So, okay, big problem with this game in general is draw distance.
As in, lack thereof.
So if I'm going to try and find these coins, I got to be really good at finding them. Anyway, back to you, Hype.
I was about to say, since you mentioned that this game kind of has like a story campaign of sorts, does it borrow from CTR where it's like there's actually like boss characters you have to ride against?
Not really. However, there are, if I'm correct, like, there is, I think, a test track themed character you can unlock or something. I don't know, but ow.
Ow.
Ooh. I'm looking for the coins, but all these cars and oh yeah, I'm also wearing a test track card. So, but yeah, I think that's a cute idea that the vehicles you drive are themed after the actual like cars that the the attraction goers ride in on the rides.
Yeah, like I said, it is pretty unique for them.
Right.
Also, I noticed in this track you're not even racing anyone.
Nope, we're just trying to beat the time. Now I'm trying to actually think of something, and there's actually even some puzzle aspects in that I need to get on top of this. I need to get on top of this thing to open a switch. So there's almost kind of like platforming.
Lesson learned: never leave Chip behind the wheel.
Nope. And drive. And get onto the green button to activate it.
You can always trust Dale.
Yeah.
Can you really though? Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's keep looking for.
Lesson learned: always keep Gadget behind the wheel.
She shouldn't.
And hopefully no one will get hurt.
It was such a if they're gonna have Chip and Dale, it was such a bummer that they didn't have Gadget and the other dude.
Yeah,
especially
Monterey,
since it's especially noticeable since they're even dressed in their Rescue Rangers attires.
Yeah, it's actually, if I do remembering correctly, Chip and Dale were added into the game at the very last minute.
That could have been
honestly not too similar to how Diddy Kong Racing ended up being the way it is.
Then for all we know, maybe that's how this all began. Is they had characters that were animals anyway, and then they gave them the rights to Disney, and then bam, here you go, Chip and Dale, quickly.
Yeah.
And make the other people wear Disney outfits or something. Oh. But okay, where's that last coin? But with that said,
this is the most uncanny of the tracks we've seen so far.
Yeah. Other than that, because it's all like actual people, and Test Track was funded by freaking General Motors or whatever.
Well, hey, at the very least, we're pretty close to scale.
Yeah. But now the only thing I'm kind of confused by is the starting point of this the starting point of the title is called Walt Disney World Quest, so it almost makes me feel like there's like a series of these games, but I feel like this is the only one.
They probably planned on doing more, but they just didn't have the budget to make any more.
Probably.
Yeah. If I could be fair, this definitely feels like one of those games that was just one and done, and not that many people really knew, let alone cared about.
Yeah. So with that said, I'm gonna save, even though I plan on deleting this from my computer in the next 5 minutes. But with that said, that was a little look at a Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour. I'm just gonna call it Magical Racing Tour. It's shorter. I mean, if you can get it, I mean, it's pretty cute enough. It's definitely not a game that has much replayability to it, I don't think. But if you're a fan of Walt Disney World parks and listening to Disney themed music and stuff, I don't think it's a bad game. It definitely is. Once I figured out how to freaking control it, it actually was pretty fun to play through it.
But yeah, it just seems like a case where you have to get through that first hurdle, let alone actually give a crap about the aesthetics that they're putting up to offer.
Right. Mm-hmm. But with that said, thank you all so much for watching this little dated look at. I'm LuckyJack20.
Cheese!
One of you guys gotta do something. Alright.
And I'm over here enjoying my better game on the N64!
This game was on a better system than your 64. Bye, everybody.
Till next time, everybody.
Jeez.